You just need to manage the business, the affairs.
Yes.
For a while. He could be on an extended, like, leave, out of the country or something like that.
Right.
For business, right?
And so it was just good that we was able to do that. And even with my lawn, the guy had been, like I said, over 20 some years, he had been doing the lawn. And I was like, okay, so do I keep doing it? And he was like, I got you. I was like, okay. His name is Hightower. But yeah, he was like, I got you. It's no problem, And he did. He helped me. I was sharing with you that one of the lights, because we had I forgot what they called them, the lights that go outside in the front of your house that lights your house up.
Exterior lights.
Okay. And one had went out.
That's what we're going to call them. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a clue what to do or how, what to do or what to get. And I was sharing it with him. He was like, go get such and such, such and such, and I'll fix it. And I was like, thank you, Lord, So, yes, it's important that I had at least tried to communicate with him while my husband was here and acknowledge who he was.
Sure.
To
build that relationship yourself.
Yes. So it's important. I think that women should try to build relationships with whoever their husband is affiliated with or associated with, because like even when my husband passed, I was sharing with you that I knew his barber.
Yeah.
If I had stayed at home or, not try to see, talk to him or whatever, I would have never knew who his barber was. I would have never knew how to get in contact with him, but I was able to reach him and I knew where the location was. And he was able to do his hair for me, to cut his hair for me when he passed. So I think that's important as well.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that I hear, and I have some friends that are stay-at-home wives, and they relish in the fact that, I don't have to do anything. He handles everything. He takes care of this. He takes care of the pool. He takes care of the lawn. He takes care of the cars. I don't know who our house security or home warranty company is. He handles all of that. That's a beautiful place to be in. And he can handle it, but you should be aware.
Yes.
You should know who these companies are, what your rates are, when the payments are due.
Yes.
Just have some awareness of that.
Right.
Because in the event, whether it's a male or female, I don't know if I can't remember if I shared the story before of my friend's mother who passed, and her father, he came home and the alarm went off. The house alarm went off. Well, he was used to her being home by the time he got home. He wasn't used to setting the alarm or disarming the alarm, right?
Okay.
And the alarm company called her and said that, the house alarm is going off. So she rushed over there only to find her father sitting in his lazy boy chair watching the game, as if that alarm wasn't going off.
Wow.
And she was like, what? Like, don't you hear this? And he said, yeah, I hear it. But your mother handled that. I don't know that code.
Wow.
And that was his kind of like his, almost a little breakdown. However, he didn't know.
Right.
So we live in these homes, we live with each other, and we're not sharing this type of information.
And you know what? That brought up a thought too. When my mother, which has passed as well, but when my mother was here, she had an alarm too. And elderly sometimes they forget or they don't know or don't remember.
We don't have
to
just be elderly, Stephanie. We don't have to just be elderly now. Sometimes we do forget things.
Right, but I'm referencing elderly people, so I'm saying.
Thank God I have a 15-year-old that remembers everything.
But I reference elderly because my mother was elderly, and so her alarm went off. We wrote the code down. We had it where she could see it, but yet we had to go over to the house.
Wow.
Yeah, they called us, and we don't know why it's going off. And she said she didn't know why it was going off. She was, when you say sitting in the chair, that's what made me think about it. She was sitting in the chair watching TV. Same thing. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Mommy. And so
it's real.
Her alarm went off. And I remember she calling, I don't know what's going on. Mom, what happened? So we don't know what triggered it, but everything was safe. But it was just the fact that I thought about that as well. Elderly too, so you need to make sure that your elderlies are prepared or have the information, or someone can get to.
Someone has their back. They're backing them up.
Yes,
they're prepared.
Yes,
on the ready.
Yes,
as
very
we say,
much so.
right?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I totally agree. Going back to the relationships, building that relationship with our mechanic as well. And we've been using them for several years. Very familiar with our vehicles. And it's such a good relationship that, if I need that oil change, I don't have to, I call, and he bumps me up in the line.
Okay.
Or, checks my vehicle
you
out.
Shouldn't have said that. Them people gonna get you.
I didn't say the establishment.
Okay.
I didn't say the establishment.
Okay.
But put me up in the line, just because of the relationship that we have built with him over the years.
Okay. About those passwords and codes and usernames and
it's almost like you just want to throw that phone sometimes, that device. We didn't have that. I think it was prior to 2007. We didn't have PIN codes, usernames, and passwords.
Right.
It just drives me nuts. And thinking about photos, right? So I probably right now have over 4,000 photos on my phone right now.
More.
And every day I'm getting a message telling me that my storage, buy new storage,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But when my spouse passed away, I was thinking, what if I didn't have access to this? All of those memories would have been lost.
Yes.
Getting that information was so important to my family because we were able to look at those photos and laugh because he had a different way of taking pictures. What was important to him,
Right.
He saw things from a different lens, So I remember just downloading thousands of pictures and videos.
Okay.
And of course, I have storage. So you have these different devices now, these new devices that allow you to just remove pictures and transfer pictures over to, whether it's a jump drive or picture keeper. I invested in that whole picture keeper, gave me 128 gigabytes.
Wow, that's good.
Right? And so it just plug it in, just transfers all the pictures to that.
Okay.
And I'm doing mine, taking those 4,000 off of mine as well. And also you can attach it to your computer, but it holds more data than a regular USB drive.
Okay.
You and I were just talking about why can't I use this instead of this? Mm-hmm. But there are different devices out there that allow you to do that. And I think we mentally need to do some sort of photo dump.
Okay.
Because our granny and them, my grandmother.
Okay.
We didn't call her granny. My grandmother, my grandparents, my mother, they kept pictures in photo albums.
Right. Remember I was sharing with you about my mother's photo albums. And it's
tons of photo albums, and you're able to go back. Of course, they didn't take 20 pictures of the same image we do with our phones, right?
Right.
They took one, had it printed, hopefully and praying that it comes out on that 35 millimeter or that Polaroid.
Right, Polaroid.
But they put it in photo albums for generations to look back on.
Right.
And that art is gone.
Yes, it is.
Who's chronologically or keeping that type of data these days?
Right.
That other people can see, because most of the time it's on your phone. You might be sharing it on social media, but what happens?
And I like you were saying about the picture keeper. When my husband passed, the same as when you were saying about his cell phone. His cell phone had pictures of our daughter and pictures of me and of him and I was like, oh my goodness, all these pictures on here, and they were different pictures from what I had,
from what you had,
and I was like, but anyway, I get excited when I think about some of the pictures he had, and that was one of the things, just like you said, how do I get these pictures on here? And I was thankful that I had the passcode, because if I didn't, that would have been memories that I had lost that he had, even the text message, because remember I was sharing with you how when I got my new phone, I lost a lot of text messages, and that really hurted me because I wanted to be able to keep some of them.
Right.
And some of them downloaded and some of them didn't. But it's important, once again, like you're saying, having those passwords, having those codes to access so that if anything does, you can keep those memories.
You can keep those memories.
Yes.
Yeah. Those text messages that you exchanged, or he exchanged with your daughter.
Yes.
Because these kids don't keep text messages. I guess we're so used to keeping cards. We keep cards. We keep those cards that come with the flowers.
Yes.
We keep all of that. These kids just like, oh, read it, throw it away.
Yes.
You know, and the text message is like delete, delete.
I'll be like, what?
I'm like, ask my daughter, do y'all want these? Do you want? Because I got this. I you know. Ooh, when I think about all that could have been lost.
Yes. I'm so thankful that we would have had the access.
But you know, I was looking at like different tips and ways that you can preserve those photos, and I didn't realize that. Well, you know, Google Photos, you're able to automatically share your pictures that you take on your phone with Google Photos. You can, it's free.
Right.
But I didn't realize Shutterfly also has a free, where you can hold a lot of photos or something like that on there. So as I was looking at, okay, what are tips and tricks that we can share with people and our listeners? Yeah, you can use Shutterfly.
I did the Google because like you said, my phone kept telling me, you don't have any storage space. You don't have any storage space. So I had to get some of them off. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Put them on those external drives and stuff like that. And I think we should get back to the whole scrapbook and
you know, I love
photo albums. And Shutterfly also can, like, you can send pictures and make the book, on there. We used to do that when they were babies, but who has time?
And that's the thing. I have when I say pictures, I have pictures of your daughters, your grandkid, you know, your granddaughter.
Yeah.
I have so many pictures. I love taking photos. That's one. And I'm thankful because when my mom passed, you know, my nieces and them always were talking about, she always want to take a photo. But those photos came in handy.
Yes, everybody wanted your photos.
Everybody wanted my photos because I had taken so many.
It tells a history of your family.
Yeah, it does.
It's genealogy.
Right.
You're not going to pay somebody to do it, but it's really like, you know, you don't know years from now who's going to be looking at your pictures.
That's right.
And who's going to be identifying you as Stephanie Neal. And, you know, that's important. You're passing that on to someone, and you can't pass it on if it's on your phone.
Right. Or if you have it on your phone and you can't get to it on your phone. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So, think about videotapes. The technology has changed so much over the years. We probably have 3 different size video recorders.
Okay.
Then we have a flip recorder, a little digital flip handheld thing.
Okay.
That a lot of photos are on. I mean, I'm sorry, but videos are on. And what am I going to do with them? Like, I looked at them the other day, and thank God I know how to use the camera at least. But there's, you know, ways that you can transfer those videos to maybe one digital file, and there's ways that they can do pictures, whatever, from it. But we hold so much, and it's almost like we don't really value that. We don't value it the way I think people in the past valued information, documents, and photos.
They don't these days.
Maybe because it was so rare, right? To be able to take a photo and share it. Back in the day, it was like maybe 1 or 2 photos. You know, this is your great grandmother. But nowadays, you have like 25 of the same image. You don't really value it.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when you said 25, because I am good with that, girl. I would take about 20 pictures.
You're looking at that same picture. Like, okay, what's different? Which one do I want to keep? Do I want to keep this or this? Do I want to keep this? It's like being in an eye exam or something like that. It's like, okay, do you like A or B?
Right.
A or B? Show me C. Can you show me C, Doc?
Right.
Go back to A. Go back to A.
But I am so thankful that I took all of those images, you know, to have, because, you know, they were like, I'm going to say my mother's last moment, you know, and I was able to have those pictures. And when you're talking about photos or videos, I think about voicemail. You know, I still have voice messages from my mom from when she had called and left a message. And just think about it. If I not only had access to be able to hear the voicemail code passwords, I wouldn't be able to hear her voice anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good. Like you say, you need to have that conversation. You need to have a conversation with someone that's important, someone that you trust, and also you need to have it written down somewhere.
Right. When you said voice recorder, I thought about the old school voice recorders. The external one that's sat next to your house phone.
Yes, girl.
You know, and you left a mess. You left like a recording if someone called you.
I still have one.
I do too somewhere. And then people would leave messages.